This is a continuation of the previous example. In this video, I am going to explain the if statement, the count, and the countif. So, here I have added a new column, pass or fail. And I am going to write a formula in that column in order to output the word pass or fail depending on whether the average mark has reached the pass mark. For this example, let us assume that the pass mark is 50. So in order to write an if statement, in order to give us a pass or a fail, we can either use the insert function button or we can write it manually. Let us first use the insert function button. So I am going to select the cell where I want my result, then I'm going to click on the insert function and I am going to look for the if function. If the if function is not here, you can search for it by writing down if and clicking on the go button there. Once we have the if function dialog box, we can write here the logical test. In other words, our if statement criteria. In our case, our criteria is if this is greater or equal to 50, because 50 is the pass mark, then we output the text pass. Otherwise, if the criteria is false, we output the text fail. We can click on OK and replicate. And as you can see, those rows with an average mark of less than 50 are fail, while the other rows with an average mark of 50 or more are set to pass. We can also count the number of students, the number of passes, and the number of failures. And to count the number of students, we can use the count function. To use the count function, we can either use the count numbers option, or otherwise we can just write count manually ourselves. Please note that the count works only on numbers, so it can only be used to count the amount of numbers that there is in a particular row, column, or other range. If we want to use the count, we just write equals count. As you have noticed, Excel suggested count. I am going to highlight, for example, the average marks. And then I will close the bracket. And now, as you can see, we have the amount of marks, or the amount of students, which in this case it's 12. In order to count the amount of passes, we have to count how many pass is written in this column. In this case, we can use the countif. And to get the countif, we can either get it from here and clicking on more functions. Otherwise, we can click on insert function and choose the countif from here. As I have already explained with the if function, if it is not here, you can search for it from here and click on Go. Use the Countif, you have to first choose the range and then the criteria. So let's count the number of passes. So I'm going to count for the word pass. Then I am going to repeat the same thing by counting the number of failures. This time, instead of using the insert function button, I am going to write the function manually myself. So I'm going to do this equals Countif. I will choose the range, and as a criteria I will write comma and write the word fail in double inverted commas. And then I press enter. And like that, I have counted the number of students that failed their exam.